You know that moment when a player looks completely done, the legs are gone, the spark's missing, and you think football has moved past them? Well, in football, the comeback is just as thrilling as the rise. Today, we're focusing on the Warriors, the skeptics defying, the players everyone wrote off this season, only for them to silence all their doubters, ready to meet the survivors, the rebounders, and the unexpected sparks? Let's dive in. Number 7. Granit Xhaka. Xhaka arrived at this season with a lot of eyebrows raised. He'd just left the Bundesliga and joined newly promoted Sunderland at 33 years old, after many had written off his peak. Critics pointed to his loss of pace, some rough late moments at his previous club, and wondered if he was simply past his best at the top level. But what many didn't expect was how quickly Xhaka would adapt back to Premier League's pace and physicality. In his opening Premier League outings, he delivered 3 assists in 9 matches, showcasing a return of his intelligence, composure, and creative spark. He also earned the captain's armband, a sign his new club believe in him. Number 6. Luka Modric. Modric, once hailed as one of football's finest midfield maestros, started the 2025-26 season with more questions than fanfare. He's 40 years old, has just left a Real Madrid era where he'd carried the club for years, and many analysts openly wondered, is this the season he finally hangs up his boots? After a string of substitute appearances, the pace slowing, even his trademark incisive passing dipped, it looked like nearly time to say goodbye. But instead of fading, Modric did what he has done for so long. Since moving to AC Milan in July 2025, he's made 8 starts, already contributed 1 goal and 2 assists, and is posting a superb passing accuracy, 91.9%, placing him in the top percentile for midfielders in Serie A. Modric is proving that even when the body starts giving warnings, the brain and experience can still dominate. Number 5. Serge Gnabry. Gnabry began the 2025-26 campaign under heavy clouds, and for good reason. After 2 seasons racked by injuries, inconsistent output, and whispered doubts about whether his best days were behind him, many felt the German winger had lost his edge. His 2024-25 Bundesliga tally was just 7 goals and 5 assists in 27 matches, a drop from his previous high standards. But the opening weeks of the new season told a different story. In his first 6 Bundesliga games, he had already posted 3 goals plus 3 assists, and on a shots per 90 basis, his non-penalty XG placed him in the top 4% of attackers. Few expected him to come back like this, but Gnabry's proving that rhythm, not age, was all he ever needed. Number 4. Kevin De Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne entered 2025 under heavy scrutiny. At 34 and fresh off a hamstring injury that kept him out for months in 2024, many pundits were asking, is the body done? Reports even surfaced that he would leave Manchester City and might be past his peak. His tally for 2024-2025 was modest for King Kev, just 4 goals and 7 assists in 28 Premier League appearances, far below his own wow standards. Yet rather than fading quietly, De Bruyne reclaimed centre stage. He joined Napoli in June 2025, embracing a fresh challenge and showing he still has it. In his early Serie A appearances, he already registered 3 goals in 6 games and proved his creative spark remains sharp. What shifted? A change of club energy, less burden as the man at City, and a body that's been managed smartly. Number 3. Casemiro. Casemiro looked like a man whose best days were behind him. Just when he should have been winding down, people wondered if his body, pace, and decision-making had started to fail. After a £70 million move to Manchester United in 2022, criticism piled up. Too slow, too error-prone, the kind of veteran who no longer belongs in a top-level starting 11. He was seen as a relic of his Real Madrid glory rather than a vital cog for the future, but the 2025-26 season flipped the script. In just 8 Premier League appearances so far, he's already bagged 2 goals, with a goal involvement rate that puts him ahead of many younger midfielders. His passing accuracy is over 82%, and his defensive output, key passes, duels won, is back among the elite. He's also been recalled as captain by Brazil under Carlo Ancelotti, showing he still commands respect and authority. Rather than fade away, Casemiro is quietly redefining what a veteran midfielder can be. Still effective, still hungry, still deciding big games. Number 2. Marcus Rashford. Rashford entered the 2025-26 season very much under the microscope, after a patchy 2024-25 in which he managed just 6 goals and 3 assists in 25 Premier League appearances. appearances. Rumours swirled that his pace was fading, confidence cracked, and Manchester United were ready to move on. Many fans wondered if he'd ever rediscover his best form. Then came the major reset, a loan move to Barcelona in the summer of 2025. Suddenly, Rashford looked revitalised. In early La Liga action, he grabbed 1 goal and 3 assists from 9 matches, and on the big stage he scored twice in a Champions League 2-1 win at Newcastle, and now he is looking better than ever. Number 1, Jack Grealish. Once hailed as the next big thing after his Villa days, Grealish went into the 2025-26 season looking every bit like he might be fading from top-flight relevance. After a drop in minutes, being benched for key matches, and his omission from major tournaments, the critics were circling. One expert even labelled him finished under his club's manager. But then the thing switched on its head. On loan at Everton, Grealish rediscovered himself. 1 goal and 4 assists in his first 8 matches, including a dramatic injury time winner that snapped his new club's long winless streak. He's regained his dribble, the flair, and that old spark that made him irresistible. In other words, he didn't just survive the finished label, he is now redefining his career. And there you have it, proof that football doesn't hand out expiry dates, it hands out second chances. From Casemiro's revival in red to Grealish's spark at Everton and Xhaka's rebirth as a leader, these players turned doubt into fuel. A few months ago, most fans had written them off, too slow, too old, too inconsistent. But this season, they reminded everyone why class doesn't fade. It just waits for the right moment to shine again. Football loves its prodigies, but it lives for its comebacks, because nothing hits harder than a player everyone thought was done, suddenly running the show again. So tell me, which redemption story surprised you the most this season? Drop your pick in the comments, and if you love seeing the beautiful game through its comeback kings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that bell. The world's biggest tournament is coming, and the official FIFA World Cup 26 Tri-Under competition ball is here at the Goal 90 shop. Designed for the game's biggest stage, it's built for precision, speed, and control. Right now, you can make it yours with 30% off plus free shipping. Don't just watch the World Cup, own a piece of it. Visit goal90.shop today and order now.
I wanna be the best in the game, invest in my name, check no restraints, I'm obsessed with the pain. I ingest, I retain, assess and I change, possessed by the thought I'll be free one day from society's restraints. Money, clout and fame, mud, disease, a plague. We all love to hate, have to play the game, have to make a name. All our insecurities are on display. This is war with the enemy, think that it was meant to be. Living in a time where disease is on every screen. I won't let them fester me, I know most are festering. Negativity is a plague for the mentally weak. No mercy, all I got is working. Never stop searching, never quench the thirsty. I'm toxic and psychotic with this logic, you can't stop it. It's been chronic since I was a boy, so neurotic and chaotic. Go! To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm...
The world's biggest tournament is coming, and the official FIFA World Cup 26 Tri-Under competition ball is here at the Goal 90 shop. Designed for the game's biggest stage, it's built for precision, speed, and control. Right now, you can make it yours with 30% off plus free shipping. Don't just watch the World Cup, own a piece of it. Visit goal90.shop today and order now.